Really pleased how we completed our first two games on the road. I thought our team was focused. They accepted the challenge, stepped out, and competed at a high level. More complete in the A&M game than the Kentucky game, but I thought that the Kentucky game was really good for us because we figured out a way to win, despite missing some shots. I think there's still a tremendous amount of growth for our team, and obviously we're really excited about the matchup on Thursday.
Coach, you've got your team inside the top 25. Just some more thoughts on that.
Well, like I said, I thought it was great for our program. It's great for the university. That's why our players came here. When you guys always ask, like, what do I sell? That's what I sell. You can come here and turn the program around and be a part of something, from the ground up and etch your name in it. And so it was pretty cool for that to happen for our group. Now, I've always felt like we were one of the top teams in the country, so, we just like to, it's cool that other people see it, but nevertheless, we've always felt that way, so we're just going to continue to, chop wood and carry water.
You've got another opportunity on Thursday, obviously,
Yeah.
to make a lot of noise in terms of that. Just your thoughts
Yeah.
on South Carolina.
Well, we have a lot of opportunities ahead. I think we have South Carolina, Georgia, Missouri, who beat South Carolina, and LSU. So no easy games for us. But as far as the South Carolina game, it's just an incredible opportunity for our program to be on the national stage, ESPN. That easily they could have dropped the game because obviously they wanted to see the UConn and South Carolina matchup. But, I'm appreciative that we get to put the University of Mississippi on a national stage other than maybe football, or men's basketball. So, we're going to be ready. We're going to be excited. We're pretty even keeled about it. South Carolina is a team that has championship pedigree and experience. So for us, we're going to go in there and play our style of basketball and see what happens.
All that kind of came together real fast.
Yeah.
Sunday night, y'all were playing in Kentucky thinking you were going to have a week off to prepare for another good Georgia team.
Yeah.
But just kind of your emotions of handling and kind of shifting gears that quickly Sunday night.
Well, I kind of knew maybe, before everyone else did. Don and I have a relationship, so and obviously we had to talk about it, about the potential and us trying to change things around. I think people don't realize how much goes into the preparation as far as, like, you have to get a plane, you have to make sure the kids can miss school and et cetera, et cetera. So, but I told the team after the game because I wanted us to be focused on Kentucky. Obviously, they were excited. I'm excited. It's not like we weren't going to play this game. We had COVID and we couldn't. And so it seems like the SEC is doing their part to get all of our games rescheduled. So we look forward to South Carolina twice and Arkansas.
I know you've done some reflecting up there at previous times about how far this program has
Yeah.
come in recent years, just with this being a ranked team, a ranked matchup
Yeah.
on ESPN.
Yeah.
Can you imagine 4 years ago being in that sort of situation?
Yeah, that's why I came to Ole Miss. I've always said that, I would tell these guys, be patient. I'm telling you, we're not gonna always be, the bottom feeder. So, I do know when I interviewed with the AP yesterday, it was every time I hear something, that's when I kind of be like, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like he said, you guys hadn't been ranked in 15 years. And that's when it hit me. Like, it didn't hit me that we were getting ranked. We hadn't been ranked in 15 years. This is only my fourth season. So obviously there were coaches that tried to bring this program back and fell short. And so this morning I asked my players where they were 15 years ago or how old they were, and the lowest we got was 4. my daughter's 4 years old. So 15 years ago, they were 4 years old.
What were you doing 15 years ago?
15 years ago, I was making $850 a month, working at Arkansas Pine Bluff, getting my master's, starting my career. That's where I was when Ole Miss was ranked.
What does it say to your players in this group where we were talking to a couple of them and, yeah, y'all are ranked, but they're like, that's not, like,
Yeah.
they know that's not the mountaintop.
Yeah.
For them to kind of already mentally be handling that, what does that say to this team?
We made a decision early in the year to not let any type of outside opinions influence us. And that was preseason rankings. That's any awards. Our ultimate goal is to go to the NCAA tournament. Obviously, honestly, being ranked was not something that as a coaching staff we even discussed. I don't know how we missed that. But we've been so focused on where we're trying to go, and that is NCAA tournament. So we didn't even discuss being ranked. It never even came across our minds until we beat South Florida, and everybody thought we would then be ranked, and then we was like, oh, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. So for our team, we've been managing that for the most part, and they've been great. I expected them to be a little bit more excited, but they were pretty casual with it. They were pretty casual with it. I think our staff was more excited. And you know why? That's because it's the behind the scenes that goes into it. For Kira, she's probably used to being ranked. I know Maddie was excited because everything's coming into fruition. Like I came here for this, but for the most part, our girls were pretty normal. It's my support staff I have to keep in. No, I mean, it's them. It's the work we've been putting in because we've been here from the beginning, So I know for Mimi and I know for Iyanla, I know it was really special for them and the whole program. But, we're unfazed by it. We're focused on the next game.
To that point, what did it mean to our mentee to kind of see it come
Yeah.
for her?
I called her and I said, as an alum, what does this mean? And she said, Coach, it means the world. I remember when I first came and I would start doing stuff around the office and, putting up certain things, remembering history or adding something. She would always say, Coach, as an alum, this makes me proud, And so I felt like I've always been in touch with the ones before that has paved the way. And then you have Van Chancellor coming in and doing a brief cameo, So it's really cool for those people. It's really cool for my staff. They work so hard. And I'm not just talking about my coaches. I'm talking about my ops, my director of player development, video. I'm talking about my complete staff, the athletic trainer, strength coach. This is the dream I sold. This is why they're here. So for it to be a reality, I feel a great sense of pride for that.
When you look at the South Carolina program, they're one of the top tier
Yeah.
in the country. Are they sort of the standard to aspire to? And what is it that they do so well that programs want to mimic, other than obviously winning?
Yeah, I mean, I think what I appreciate, I think if you're a real basketball head, you want to aspire to be the UConns, the Stanfords. Those teams dominated. South Carolina is new to the dominance. So I don't know that we want to aspire to be South Carolina. I just know I have a tremendous amount of respect for Dawn and the program and what she's done. And I do look at it and try to model a lot of the things that we do by getting a fan base involved and being able to sign multiple high-level players. I do look at that and I do study that. I think she has opened doors for coaches like myself and others, so there's a respect level there. But I respect her enough to give her my best fight. So we're going down there. with the intent to be competitive and win a basketball game.
Let's say something anyway. What is she then?
Who's that?
Maybe.
Mimi? Mimi is just I call her the oldest player in women's basketball. It's our little joke, but we have a couple of old heads. Mimi deserves this just as much as anybody else. Just as much as my strength coach, just as much as Coach Chris, Coach Min, who's been there from the beginning. You talk about people that have been here for the beginning. I think that's why so many people resonate with what we're doing. And so Mimi, I'm very happy for her. This is how I would want her to go out. Again, I made true to my promise to her as well. I said, before you leave, you're going to go to the NCAA tournament. I remember that. And then I remember looking at Maddie and said, before you leave, Sweet 16. And I went through the room and said, this is what you're going to do. So for her to be able to experience this, I think it's great. And I think that's why so many people are involved and engaged with what we're doing. You all were in here when we were 0-16. And you all remember what I said. And so, and I've been pretty open about it. And I think that's why so many people are excited for where we are right now and today.
We'll go to Zoom. Howard, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Howard Megdal here.
Hey,
Good
Howard.
to chat with you.
Good.
I got a few, if you'll indulge me.
Sure.
The first one is just kind of a piggyback off of what you were talking about, not necessarily expecting to be ranked when the season began. And, there are some goals in sight that maybe weren't there at the start of the year. You guys might be a top 4 seed. I just wonder if they've changed in your mind, if this team has so far exceeded where you necessarily expected they could get to when the season began.
Well, if someone were to ask me if I thought we would be 17-2 right now, undefeated on the road, I'd say no. I wouldn't. That's not something that I thought. Us going to the NCAA tournament, I was bold enough to say that before the season even started. It's NCAA tournament or bust. But I don't want to limit our team. So you're correct, Howard. Now I'm thinking dang, I don't want to. At first we was telling our team, we just need to be in the top half. We need to be in the top half. But if we have a chance, now we're tied for second place. If we have a chance to be in the top 4 and host, why not? For this community, to get everybody engaged. So we try to temper it, but we let them know that there is a possibility so that they don't shortchange themselves.
And in terms of that growth, specifically, you were a top 50 defensive team in the country last year by just about any metric. You're somewhere top 10, top 20 this year. And there's a stat that I'd like to isolate on, steal percentage. You had 4 players north of 2% last year. You have 11 north of 2% this year. And I'm just wondering, what has allowed this defense to reach that next level? I know there's some differences in personnel, but I'm just curious, more generally, it seems like across the board we're seeing that growth.
Well, it's the maturity, it's the maturation of our team. We took the defensive philosophy as such from Florida State men's basketball, all right, and Leonard Hamilton. And so last year was just year 1 of us installing it. So this is just year 2, And I think we'll probably have to keep it in 2-year spans because of the portal and how we're going to recruit. But imagine how dangerous it would be if we had kids for 4 years, But this is the second year. And so they're comfortable. They understand what we're trying to do. I feel like our new pieces have been incredible as far as buying in to our system and our philosophy. And really, Howard, that's what you're seeing.
And LaShonda specifically spoke about coming to you because this was a place you could play defense. Is she in that way? Is she kind of the missing piece for what you were looking to install? Leonard Hamilton's system.
Yeah, I could tell you what Monk brings. Monk brings defense. Monk brings maturity, but most of all, Monk brings a toughness to our team that we lacked. We had it with Kira with the post. but not with the guards. Like Monk makes everybody tough. She makes Kira have a comfort out there. I sleep well at night because I know when we go to play, she's ready to compete. She has brought toughness out of Mimi and anybody she comes into contact with. She's just so gritty, and she's a defender, and she can put the ball in the basket too. As you can see, she's averaging about 13 points in SEC play. So she has definitely just brought that, maturity that I think our group needs right now.
And then my last one is just about Shakira. And in terms of her offense this year, what we're seeing, if you look at her shot charts, there's significantly more finishing at the rim even than last year. And sort of two parts to that. One is how do you account for it? What has been responsible for that growth? And how significant is that going to be in terms of her aspirations to go play at the next level?
Yeah, I just think Shakira is now very comfortable with the SEC. I thought last year was an adjustment. If we're being honest, she struggled with the physicality at times, whereas now she just completely embraces it. Shakira can score, she has the footwork of a Hakeem Olajuwon. It's credit to her dad with her growing up. Just the training she got. That's not something you pick up in college. Like, she already had that. And so, but I do think Coach Shea has done a great job of developing her. And I do think that as a staff, we do a good job of her usage and putting her in spots to be successful. And I think that's what coaching is. I can't put the ball in the basket, but I can put you in a position to be able to use your talents. And so what you're seeing is an all-around player and her maturation with her game. Kira knows that everyone understands that she can score, but I told her the missing piece was, can you win? Because in the pros, they want winners. They want impact players. If they wanted scorers, then the leading scorer every year would go number one. We all know that doesn't happen. How can you impact the game? And I think, night in and night out, she's been showing how she can impact the game in various ways.
Appreciate your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.